In this video, we are going to discuss the coastal plain. Now again, you see in the map. In the map, on the western side it is written WCP, and on the eastern side it is written ECP, which means Western Coastal Plain and Eastern Coastal Plain. So with the green marking you can understand Western Coastal Plain and Eastern Coastal Plain. So Western Coastal Plain lies between the Western Ghat and Arabian Sea, and Eastern Coastal Plain between Eastern Ghat and Bay of Bengal Sea. Now let's understand what is coastal plain. A coastal plain is a flat, low-lying piece of land next to the ocean, that means on the coastal area. Two narrow strips to the east and west of Peninsular Plateau. So, it is on the east and the west side of the Peninsular Plateau. I told you in the beginning that it is between the Western Ghat and Arabian Sea and Eastern Ghat and Bay of Bengal Sea. So, to the east and to the west of Peninsular Plateau, two narrow strips of lands are found which are respectively called Eastern Coastal Plain and Western Coastal Plain. Now let's come to Eastern Coastal Plain. The Eastern Coastal Plain is a wide stretch of landmass lying between the Eastern Ghat and Bay of Bengal. So, Eastern Coastal Plain is between the Eastern Ghat and the Bay of Bengal. Now, you can see in the map, in the marking, that it is broken. There are two parts of Eastern Coastal Plain. The lower part and the upper part. The upper part or the northern part, the top part is called Northern Sarkar, while the southern part, down part, is called the Coromandel Coast. Now why it is not continuous, why it is broken? Because large rivers such as Mahanadi, Krishna, Kaveri join the Bay of Bengal Sea, cutting this Ghat region and then the plain region. That's why it is discontinuous. Now, large rivers such as Mahanadi, Krishna, Kaveri, they formed huge and extensive delta region on the coast. So the rivers that flow on the eastern side to Bay of Bengal, they form deltas along the coastal region. Lake Chilka, if you see the map, you can find it in the map. Where is Lake Chilka? Lake Chilka is in Odisha. Lake Chilka is an important feature on the eastern coast. Now let's come down to the western coast. The Western Coastal Plain, again, it is in between the Western Ghat and the Arabian Sea. It is sandwiched. It is pressed between the Western Ghat and the Arabian Sea. It is a narrow plain and consists of three sections. So, as you have seen, the Eastern Ghat is divided into two, and the Western Coastal Plain, although it is continuous, but it is also again divided into three parts. And the three parts are: the north part is west of the western coast is Mumbai Goa region, and this Mumbai Goa region is known as Konkan Coast. Then the central stretch is called Kannada Coast, and the southern stretch, that is part of Kerala, is called the Malabar Coast. So this is about your coastal plains. Now let's come down to the desert. Now Indian desert, again see the map, you can understand the desert region. It's over Rajasthan, the Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert. So Indian desert lie towards the western margin of Aravalli Hills. So it is Aravalli Hills towards the eastern side, and then towards Pakistan the area is total sandy, and that is your desert region, the Thar Desert. What are the characteristics? It is a sandy plain covered with sand dunes. Sand dunes are small hills of sands. Number 2, the region receives very low rainfall, below 150 millimeter per year. So the area receives very less rainfall. And number 3, it has a very dry climate with low vegetation cover. So it is very dry and it does not have any vegetation cover in that region.